And we move on to the Donetsk Front. So this is Donetsk City, and this is the Donetsk Front. And at the Donetsk Front, we have a lot of fighting being reported in this area here. There's Russian attack towards Staromayorsky in Novodonetsk, towards Zolotan south of Prashestivka, in the area of Volodymyrivka, over at Novomikhailivka, Pobjeda, Georgievka, Krasnohorivka. Ukrainian forces attacked at Shevchenko. So this is the strategic situation over in the Donetsk front, and you can see that the Russians are also conducting very, very major offensive operations in this area here. And so we'll go from sector to sector. So at the Velika Novosilka sector, so this is the Velika Novosilka this is the sector over here. The Russians are attacking Staromayorsky, and Russians are more positional in this area here. They use artillery to hit Ukrainian depots or ammunition dumps over at Uruzhaine. Another one happens over just off Novodarivka. So this is Novodarivka. Another one happens over here. Further in the rear, there was a Lancet attack on Ukrainian artillery position just off Zelenipo or Zelenipole. So these are the strikes that was geolocated. There's actually more, but I thought that I'm not putting everything because it's kind of pointless to put everything strategically. It's not that important. So over on the western part of Voleda region, so in this Voleda line region, there is the Russians attacking over at Novodonetsk. It was geolocated. There is some frontline change being registered over here. So the attack might be coming from the south against Ukrainian positions. So at Novodonetsk, the Russians are also pushing north towards Zolotan Neva. This is Zolotan Neva, and they are attacking in this way. So these are the ones. And then there's also reported attack at Prashestivka. The one at Zolotan Neva was reported 20 to 21st. The Novodonetsk is the latest. And then Prashestivka seen reports of attack on the 20th. So this is not a one-off all happening at the same time. It's a probing, sometimes here, sometimes there. So it's something to note. And the Ukrainian forces was reportedly attacking the north of Shevchenko. This was a continuation of the previous report. We'll continue to monitor. There is a front line being geolocated over at this position. So this is a gray zone. So we will leave it as gray zone for now because it's a front line geolocation. We move on. There is fighting report at Volodymyrivka. Nothing much to talk about. And over at this Marinka sector, the Russian forces are still attacking Novomikhailivka, but I believe this attack here is positional. The Russians are not storming the position. Maybe they are not ready for it. Instead, they make their focus at Pobjeda. Or Pobjeda. So at this area here, the Russian Defense Ministry has confirmed and acknowledged the capture of Pobjeda in their latest report. And this capture is not acknowledged by the Ukrainian side just yet. However, geolocation of Russian raising the flag on the rather northwestern part of Pobjeda basically put it to rest that the Russian did indeed capture the settlement. So the Russians have taken the settlement over here. Russians are still fighting in this area here, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. There is still fighting reported on the 21st of February in this area here, 2 days ago. And Russian forces are pushing at Georgievka. So, and in the north of Marinka, there is a geolocation of Ukrainian forces getting bombarded by Russian artillery. But what is disturbing is that when the soldiers run, they look very female the way they run. Not sure if you see, trip and fall. They're not armed. They didn't bring weapons, and the way they run, the way they swing their arms, is very female. So I believe that in this very position, where the Russians have bombarded the Ukrainian positions just very close to the front line, these are actually manned by by female soldiers. So that's actually very disturbing to me. So but it is what it is. This is war. And there is also a geolocation of Russians attacking Ukrainian ammo depot over at Krasnohorivka. So, yeah, so that's all for the situation at the Donetsk Front. Very intense offensive actions across the board. Mainly the focus is still over on the eastern part of the Donetsk Front.